This is the worst AFCON in terms of officiating. In Ivory Coast 2023, we did not have issues like that. Even though, yes, there might be mistakes and cause of little differences, but it did not get worse to this. Even in Europe, sometimes there are some calls that are, somehow controversial, but not as much as this.
The irony about football is when a referee give a shambolic officiating, a lackadaisical officiating, and the thing favors a team as against another team. If it's on a final game, the trophy is not returned back to the team that was, you understand, that were robbed.
Yeah, welcome back to EVO SPORTS. Still on the AFCON, we are going to discuss about the total officiating in this AFCON. I don't think the officiating in this AFCON was something or is something to write home about. But do you think the officiating in this AFCON was fair in all regards to all the teams?
Okay. Officiating so far so good in this tournament has been a mixed feelings, mixed reaction. In all, we had about, 63 officials? 73 officials that make up the final court. And we wouldn't say because about 3 or 4 of them did not actually perform well, abysmally, having 1 or 2 mistakes or glitches, we should put all of them in the same basket, sort of. But so far, so good. I think the 2 matches that are noteworthy of, apart from 1 or 2 issues that happened in the preliminary stage for a match against Mali in the preliminary stage or so, but the 2 matches I feel was actually beacon the flaws of the referee was a match between Nigeria and Morocco.
What about Cameroon?
Yes, I know. Nigeria versus Morocco, then Senegal versus Morocco, then that Cameroonian match. But
the same Morocco.
They say against Morocco as well. But essentially, that Cameroon and Morocco match didn't actually have the wave, maybe because of the viewership or how Morocco actually took it. Sometimes when there is a malattitude from one end, it depends on how the opposition person reacts.
Yeah.
Yes, it can actually, bring the amount of crowd or people that flocks in. But the referee that officiated the match against Nigeria and Morocco, Larry from Ghana, he made so many mistakes many blunders in which I said that match, because Tom Abongil of South Africa, which is much more, in the pecking order of referees, I think is higher above him, was in the VAR room. I was expecting that a match is of such magnitude in a semi-final encounter in the AFCON, Abongilo was supposed to be the center referee, but I wouldn't know why the CAF committee in that regard gave it to Larry. But at the end of the day, the way the Moroccans bamboozled him, bullied him and all of that, he started making a lot of blunders and all of that, because the match at some point was bigger than him. Now, the match between Nigeria, Morocco, and Senegal in the final match as well, the Democratic Republic of Congo referee, Jack Ngomba, yes, is it Ngomba? Ngambo, too, was overwhelmed because of the crowd and so many things that happened in the game. So he couldn't curtail the excesses of the Moroccan side and all of that. So he too started making a lot of mistakes. One of the mistakes noteworthy of is when there was a goal, attacking bound game in which the Moroccan player sheepishly fell to the ground. He now called off the ball, in which wasn't an infringement. Are you getting it? So, and at the end of the day, so many issues, even when the VAR, when the penalty happened, when Diop pulled down Diaz, the whip, he was not even given a chance to look at the VAR team. A lot of Moroccan players were influencing them and all of that.
And the officials.
Yes, but he was communicating with the VAR team. I wouldn't know, I bet. Under no circumstance should the officials of the team and the players log up the VAR screen and all of that. He didn't use his whistle and his card to show that he's the center referee, because he's the center referee. He has power over everybody on that pitch as far as football is concerned for that particular hour. So he would have used his whistle and his card to disperse everybody from there. But he was, he was under pressure he couldn't curtail. So that is to say that match is bigger than him. And I still repeat that a referee from a country like Congo Democratic Republic, you understand, with no disrespect to Congo, they are a lovely nation, they are a footballing nation as well, but the kind of league Congo play, where is Congo in African league? Are you getting it? What are their position in the competitiveness of African league? So which matches?
They play good football. They have good
No,
leagues too.
that's not that. I said
They have
I'm
good leagues
I'm
too.
not disputing that. But when you look at Congo, England has the best league in the world according to statistics. Spain, Italy, France. You understand? We have other countries as well in Europe. We have Norway, but there is a reason why these leagues are given these positions in which they are. So you want to look in Africa, where is Congo in an African league? Are they in 10th, 11, or 12th position? Like, so you will now wonder what games do Ngambo officiate when they gave him, before they will give him, before he was given the nod to officiate a final match between Morocco and Senegal, because that match is an high-profile match. So at the end of the day, a lot of issues happen. He couldn't curtail so many excesses, and at the end of the debate, be it as it may, regardless of his issues and his shortfalls and all of that, the team that was actually at the receiving end at the end of the day finally came out as the eventual winner. But at the end of the day, I want CAF to see check inwardly on these referee issues. I think they don't have, I wouldn't know, I stand to be corrected anytime. I don't know if they have international certification in terms of refereeing, not to be FIFA bash or whatever. What kind of training have they gone to? What kind of classes have they passed through? Are you getting it? Because academic has to do with certification. If you are a FIFA bash referee and a CAF bash referee, what training have you gone through? Which school and which school have you gone through? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So I expect that based on what has happened in the AFCON so far that I just concluded, I expect that CAF should check very well on the issue of registered or CAF bash referees in Africa to give them proper training so that we don't see such thing again come the next Nations Cup or any footballing related issues.
Chima, what do you think the officiating of this tournament? How do you think the officiating of this tournament went? Was it okay? Or was it above standard? Was it standard? Was it minimum or below standard?
I think it's below standard, and this is the first time, although officiating have been bad somehow, but not to this extent. This is the worst This is the worst AFCON in terms of officiating, and refereeing in this tournament have been so bad and solely because it involves Morocco and the North Africans. So that was why in Ivory Coast 2023, we did not have issues like that. Even though, there might be mistakes and cause of little differences, but it did not get worse to this. Even in Europe, sometimes there are some calls that are, somehow controversial, but not as much as this. Firstly, I start with the Ghanaian ref that officiated Nigerian and Morocco game. He arrived in Accra and he was welcomed back. The first reporter that interviewed him, he has something to say. He said, Ghana referee has admitted that he was nervous before the 2025 African Cup of Nations semi-final match between Morocco and Nigeria. So being nervous, that means he admitted that there was a lot of errors in that game. And by so doing that, a lot of people were saying we shouldn't complain. Yeah, we are not complaining about it, but we are seeing it. That was not the main reason why Nigeria lost, because Nigeria had the opportunity to win the game. They did not. But that being said, so the referee score were still very, very bad in that game, because the referee did not control that game very, very well. And once you are a referee, if the match is going on and you can't control, you can't stamp your ground on the pitch very well. If you allow the players to intimidate you on the field of play, if you allow the crowd to intimidate you, that means you have lost your professionalism on the field of play. You have lost your certificate. That moment you allow the crowd to intimidate you, they put you on the field of play so that you can control the proceedings there, so that you can control the doings there. Now, Laye reviewed this while speaking to reporters after arriving at Accra Airport. He also denied favoring the host country during the game. Now, he said, I have been to three AFCON tournaments, but this is the first time I have been in a semi-final. So when coaches choose you for that game, they know your skills and what you can do. But of course, you feel a little nervous because of the level of the match. So that means that this is the first time Laye will officiate a semi-final game and involving a high-profile team like Super Eagles and the Moroccan national team. Now, during the course of this tournament, Morocco versus Tanzania, round 16 game. The referee was Babu Traore from Mali. The referee, after the game in this match, Tanzania had a penalty call. 9 minutes. You saw the game.
Yes,
9
yes.
minutes of that game, Tanzania were supposed to be given a penalty that would have given them an advantage to draw that game against Morocco. But the referee waved the call away. Even the VAR waved the call away. And it was about maybe 30 seconds to end up. Exactly the same scenario that happened between Morocco and Senegal. The Tanzania referee, the Malian referee waved that away. Then after the game, the decision not awarded the penalty. The Tanzania coach publicly criticized that scenario in that game, making it a very bad scenario from this AFCON. Now, this same AFCON, Burkina Faso versus Algeria, penalty call that gave Algeria the 1-goal victory was criticized by Traore, their captain, the Burkina Faso captain. And after criticizing him and the referee during the press conference, Traore was fined $10,000 and with fine by CAF, and he was banned. And that was why Traore did not play the next match in this CAF of the same officiating. And then after that officiating, CAF later admitted a mistake in that Mali versus later admitted that CAF admitted a mistake in Mali versus Comoros game. Red card to Mali Amadou Haidara after VAR involvement. They gave Mali red card despite VAR involving in that situation, which means both the VAR and the referee could not correctly rule a foul in a game where there is VAR. They still made a mistake in giving Amadou red card in that game. Now, after the involvement, CAF referees committee reviewed the incident and admitted the red card was a mistake.
Was it overturned?
It was not overturned. The decision was incorrect after internal deliberation. The decision was incorrect after can you see where there is VAR? So what is the essence of the VAR? When the referee made a mistake, CAF, then referee made a mistake. Then now the VAR too made a very big mistake. That means the people in charge in VAR and the referee, that means all of them are not professional. All of them are not up to standard. So if you can make a mistake that even the CAF officials later admitted secretly that it was a very big mistake and they apologized for that. But the red card...
The harm has already been done.
Yeah, it has been done already. Both the VAR and referee admitted the error and apologized in a technical meeting. Now, these things are what we are suffering in Africa, and it always happens in most African leagues. Home team must win syndrome. Now, because one, the officiation in this AFCON have been so poor to the extent that even the referee, because any referee that you want to appoint, first of all, the league that they are operating matters so much. And why Tom Abongile have been ahead so well is because of the PSL, the standard of PSL league, and that is why some other Egyptian referee too as well. But of course, in Egypt too, they are not good losers. When they are playing their league, they like fighting, So those fighting as well too, when you can't control your league very well to avoid a chaos in your league, how are you going to come outside and behave well? You can't behave well. So these calls are not good for African competition. So definitely something needs to be done. Either we begin to send our referees to Europe or for more courses in Europe, and then we also need to improve our leagues, because if we improve the leagues in Africa, it will help. Imagine a team like Nigeria, Benin Republic, there's no referee from Nigeria that represented us in AFCON. So which means the league was poor. So even if there's a referee, how can you compare the Nigerian league to AFCON tournament? Even this Daniel Laye now, look at what he said now, that he has never officiated in semi-final matches before, and then because the level of that match is higher than the league where you operate on. So definitely we need to upgrade by first of all improving our league, making our African league competitive, because when the leagues are competitive, that is when you can easily get referee, because any ref that is doing well, imagine Tom Abongile handling matches like Saunders against Pirate, then Kaizer Chiefs against Pirate. Say that at least high intensity games like that will cause a lot of chaos, both from fans, all of that. At least we also sharpen his memory when it comes into officiate a game between another African giant and another African giant. So in this case, CAF need to do something faster before the next AFCON.
Anyway, I would say to me, the officiating generally was poor. A whole lot of wrong decisions caused by the referee. Even the VAR, I'm generalizing, both the VAR the center referee, the linesman, and so whatnot. Because I could remember the match between Nigeria and Morocco. Bruno Nyemechi dribbled past a Moroccan defender and pulled the ball over, but they had to call for a free kick, and there was nothing like that. It wasn't even a throw-in, but they just had to call it back and gave it as a free kick against Nigeria. So the officiating has been very, very bad. But then I hope CAF steps up and do the needful. Albert, still on the officiating. Some other matches been within the group stages. We see a similar incident that happened, but the one that was so pronounced are the ones that we just mentioned.
Sure.
You know, but how do you think that those countries that were cheated through this officiating, how do you think they will feel?
You see, that is something about football. The irony about football is when a referee give a shambolic officiating, a lackadaisical officiating, and the thing favors a team as against another team. If it's on a final game, the trophy is not returned back to the team that was, you understand,
That were robbed.
That were robbed. Now, the thing is this, that's why he calls for continuous improvement, continuous sensitization, continuous training in the expertise of refereeing, schooling, you understand, lectures, you understand. In the entire African nation that are involved in football, they are supposed to be giving lectures, an open lecture, call people from international body, International Referees Association, let them have summit, maybe biannually or maybe twice in 6 months, you understand. They can do it, a world conference, referee conference. Let them go. Let them upgrade their mental psyche as regards the game of football. Because if an African referee cannot be put on center stage to officiate a quarterfinal or second round match in the World Cup, that is to say, we have not started at all. Because 6 continents, apart from Oceania, make up the 6 continents, apart from Oceania, make up the world.
Yeah.
So now Africa are one of the most heralded footballing nation in the world, apart from Europe. Are you getting it? South American team that have won the World Cup, Brazil, Argentina. Are you getting it? No African team have won the World Cup. But if you want to talk about places where you have one of the highest export of footballers in the world, it's from Africa. So I think African referees are supposed to take center stage in world football at most quarterfinal level. But what we are seeing now, the level of mistakes, even in AFCON, how will they now be invited? So I think there should be a body, you understand, that connects African refereeing and European referees. Are you getting it? So they can go to school, they can learn more on this art of refereeing. They can even be given some certain matches, maybe in South America or some part of Europe, see how the crowd approaches the game, see how crowd boos, see how things happen in, or even sometimes it may not be even you, a African referee officiating. Let them just be on the stadium and watch how games happen and how some certain referee handle the game. See, one of the if you are across a moat, a canal that has been covered with moats, in which we call our normal vernacular poto, and you see somebody at the other end and you want to cross over to that place, the person you are going to ask is that person, how did you cross? Sir, where am I going to put my feet so that I can cross over to that place? Because he's the one with experience. So if Europe are there in terms of refereeing, are you getting it? So let's learn. There must be a lecturer standing on the front of the lecture room for students to learn. But sometimes, someday, a student that actually learned very well can still become a lecturer to that lecturer that actually lectured him. Because I've seen somebody telling us some time ago, where we are somewhere in Surulere, that the person that lectured him when he was in University of Benin is the person now is lecturing in Lagos Business School. Are you getting it? Yeah. Why is he lecturing his former lecturers? Because he have tried his possible best to learn, go to several courses, schools, and all of that. So he has now gone to that level that they now, you understand, employed him as a lecturer in a much more higher school. Now his lecturer is coming to have a certification in that Lagos Business School. You get what I'm trying to say? So if Europe are there in terms of refereeing now, so African referees need to learn. What school do they go to give them that capacity to curtail high-profile matches? Let them go. If we were on the FA of our African nations to disburse money to them, allocate money for these our referees to go for training. Let them go, because it is only through training you can grow. So because if you can't officiate AFCON properly well, then how can you now officiate international tournaments and all of that? So I just hope and pray that we look inward into this, because when an issue happen, right, we need to take proactive measures that we actually see. Because you see, one of the best way, we have short time, medium time, and long time projects in life as we live in life. So if this project that has to do with the referee, these flaws we have faced right now in the Nations Cup, bad referee officiating is something that is going to affect us in future. Let's take proactive measures. After now, let them start going for courses. Are you getting it? So that as these coaches are aging out, the ones that are coming as well, you understand, can follow suit, go for training, you understand, so many things that will make them improve in this game of football. But so far, so good. The Nations Cup, the AFCON has come and ended. We observed so many glitches. And another thing again on the CAF should stop. After this time, CAF should stop changing referees 24 hours before a match. I don't think it's right. And I so believe that CAF as well is among these particular referee glitches that actually happened.
Chima, any other thing to say before we wrap it up?
Yes, I feel like other Nations Cup did not get worse like this. And some of the few calls that I raised now, from my own research and perspective, I feel like all these things had happened or is happening because of the North African countries involved. All the calls that I've seen here against Algeria, against Morocco. So these are things. So definitely, I feel like maybe because these people, they are present in CAF committee, and it's influencing a lot of things, and changing of those referees hours, days before match still boils down to CAF. These guys being involved in CAF committee. So I feel like if that pressure is not there, you understand now, maybe these referees will have done better. So I feel like these referees are just trying to secure their job so that maybe the orgas at the top will not fire them, or will not feel like, okay, you supported Nigeria, or you supported Cameroon, or supported Senegal against us. So I feel like that is the fear. So if we can, if CAF can stand their ground, if there's any referee that make any mistake, irrespective of who you are, where you are coming from, or who you are, if they can be sanctioning referees, then if you want to officiate a game against this Arab nation, there should not be any form of intimidation against this referee, because all these calls are still against all these North African countries. So if you remove North African countries right now, maybe there will be a fair play in some of this game, because it did not happen
within other
within all those other African nations. It did not happen when Nigeria played matches against other Tanzania, Uganda. It did not happen when Cameroon played against South Africa. All of those things did not happen. All these scores are still, look at Egypt versus South African match, still the same North African this, because there was a question the commentator was asking, say, if that foul had happened outside the 18-yard box, I think the referee would have waved it on that say play on. So how come if some of these fouls that happen outside the 18-yard box that you can say play on, when you start seeing them inside the 18-yard box, you now decide to blow penalty against the team? So definitely, the pressure from those North African countries is a little bit affecting the officiating of this game. So that is one of the biggest talking points. But aside from that, I feel we still have some good referees if CAF can protect them, protect their image, irrespective of who they are playing against, without home advantage or any favoritism or nepotism at all.
Anyway, I would say that the officiating has been bad, inclusive the VAR, which is the video assistant referees. Their calls to deliberate on what transpired between the referee and the player, or transpired inside the field of play. Sometimes they don't even make that call. I would suggest, though it might be funny, that we look for another upper VAR that will oversee that of the VAR and that of the referee. Because if the referee makes a wrong call, the smaller VAR doesn't see it, then the higher VAR will need to correct it. I would say thank you. Yes, true. It sounds funny, but then
that VAR to the bigger one make mistake.
They are killing African football. They are killing. If it happens that way, then Africa to stop playing football, maybe engage themselves in boxing. I would say thank you and God bless you all.